Morning. Good morning on this beautiful first day of spring. Welcome, one and all, to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Erie, here in our online sanctuary. I want to wish you a happy Nowruz as well, which is Persian New Year. So enjoy this new promise of the beautiful days to come that happens on the spring equinox. This congregation has a lovely online tradition of beginning our Sunday services by the ringing of bells. So I want to invite you, if you have a bell or something to make a joyful noise with, go ahead and unmute yourself, and we will call the faithful into our online sanctuary together.
Hey.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, welcome once again. My name is Kristina Church, and I am pleased and proud to serve this wonderful community as its minister. We would like to continue the welcome now with our welcoming song. The music is by Hal Walker, and this morning we will have Ginny Sabol singing it for us.
This important balance between a humane policy, but also one that is, firm in terms of its.
And could everyone else please
control the flow.
Please mute your microphone so that Ginny will be.
Good morning. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you.
Thank you, Ginny. And the opening words this morning are from the poet E.E. Cummings. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of love, of life and of love and wings, and of the gay great happening illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing any, lifted from the no of all nothing human, merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened. And now Jackson will be relaxing with a prelude by Willie Smith. What a delightful piece. Thank you, Jackson. And how perfect for this first day of spring in which our hearts leap up to greet this beautiful sunshine and the promise of renewal to come. It's in the air. And I'd like to join you now in lighting a chalice if you have one. This is the symbol of our faith, the flaming chalice. And you can certainly light a candle if you have one as well. If you would like to say these words of our chalice lighting along with me, the words are on your screen. In the mystery of life about us, there is light. It gives us a place to be, to grow, to rejoice together. It opens the pathways to love. In this place of friendship, there is freedom. Let the light that we kindle go before us, strong in hope, wide in goodwill, inviting the day to come. And I will light our chalice. And now I invite you into another one of our traditions, the recitation of the Universal Covenant. And I wonder if there's anyone out there who would like to lead us with the hand motions and the words. Ginny is raising her hand. Please lead us.
We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, welcoming hands. We care for the earth and for each other.
Thank you. This congregation also has a beloved tradition, the 1898 bond of union, an expression of community that has been in use since that time, unique to this congregation. If you will join me in saying the words, if you would like, they appear on your screen. We unite ourselves together for the study and practice of morality and religion, as interpreted by the growing thought and noblest lives of humanity, believing that we may thereby prove helpful one to another and promote the cause of truth, righteousness, and love in the world. May it be so. For the time of all ages this morning, I have been thinking about our journey into tomorrow, of course, because that's the name of this service. And it's also the beginning today and this week is the beginning of our pledging time, pledge renewal time, which means that we're asking y'all to decide how much you would like to share with us of your financial resources this year. And so what I thought I would do is I was thinking about that game that kids play sometimes, like We're Going on a Picnic, where they say, we're going on a picnic and we're going to bring some apples. And then the next person has to say, we're going to bring some apples and some bananas. And then the next person has to say, we're bringing apples, bananas, and cherries, and so forth, all the way as far as you can get through the alphabet. Well, I'm not going to challenge you like that this morning. I don't know how many cups of coffee we've all had, but in the spirit of that game, I made a list of things that we might need in our journey to tomorrow. And because I do want this to be an interactive game, you are also welcome. When I name the letter, if you think of something else that I haven't thought of that we're going to need in our journey to tomorrow, you are invited and most welcome to share it in the chat. Okay, so everybody can play, and everybody can also pass if it doesn't feel comfortable for you right now. So this congregation is going on a journey to tomorrow. And here are some of the things I thought of that we're going to need. We're going to need an accessible sanctuary. Starts with A, right? We're going to need bathrooms for all genders. And you're invited to share other B words if you would like to in the chat. We're going to need coffee, right? We're going to need lots of coffee. We always do. We're going to need an up-to-date and effective database so we can keep in contact with all of you and know your current addresses and keep track of our finances and all those things. We're going to need effective leadership on our board, the heads of committees, all of those important positions. We're going to need a financial plan. We're going to need a budget, right? Okay, I see an entry here. We're going to need bravery and we're going to need courage. That's absolutely right. Thank you. We're going to need electricity. I love it. People are getting into the game. Yes, we're going to need gratitude and generosity, always. We're going to need helpful, friendly ushers to show us where we can find a seat and where we can pick up an order of service and so forth. Oh, we're going to need flowers. Absolutely, beautiful flowers to adorn our sanctuary. We're going to need internet access, maybe even better internet access than we have already. Fortitude, that's a great one. We certainly have needed that in the past year and will continue to need it. We are going to need jazz, of course, and we have the wonderful Jackson to help us with that. We are going to need justice, lots of justice. We're going to need forbearance, yes. Yes, so important in any community. We're going to need a kitchen sink and the kitchen sink, right? All the things that we need to keep this congregation going strong. We're going to need love. We're going to need music, jazz, classical, all the different kinds. We're going to need kindness. Thank you. Yes, kindness. We're going to need food. We always need lots of that to go with our coffee. We're going to need even more neighbors and friends to come and be a part of this loving community. New families, that's right. We're going to need lots and lots of new friends to care about and love. We're going to need our office and our wonderful office administrator, Joanne. We're going to need to pay her according to her worth. Well, we could never really do that, right? But we need to compensate her fairly, and we need to have the office be in good working order so that it can do all the things it needs to do. We need persistence. We need outreach to our community. I love this. You're really getting into the game. We need programs, and we need people, and we need a parking lot that works well and is in good working order and has enough accessible spaces for all who would like to join us. We need questions and the courage to lean into them. We need, let's see, what else do we have in the chat here? We need recruitment. Yes, we need to go out there and find more folks who might like to explore Unitarian Universalism. We might need to recruit more committee heads and leaders in our community. We need energy, yes, both the kind that we pay our utility bill for and the kind that gives us the energy to do things that we need to do. We need patience. Yes. We need each other. We need a good sound system. So on my list with the R's, we need RE teachers, we need RE classrooms that are in good order, and we need RE supplies to run those programs, religious education. We need our 7 or maybe 8 principals, right? To guide us and to help us make decisions about how to live through our days according to our deepest values. We need to pay our taxes, right? We need utilities. We have to pay our electric bill, as someone has already noted. We need a vision that keeps us moving forward and paying attention to what is really important. We need a new sign. We need, oh, somebody's already on the Z's. Somebody's a real overachiever. We need Zoom for out of area members. That's right. We don't want to lose the folks that have been able to join us over Zoom. We need welcoming. We need to continue offering warm and friendly welcome to everyone who comes through our doors, whether they be virtual doors or physical doors. We need excellent Sunday services. I couldn't think of a word that really begins with X, unless we want to decide to get a xylophone at some point. That might be fun. We need, oh, Xanax like peace, very creative. Xanax like peace, wouldn't that be fabulous after the year we've had? We need yes, we absolutely need yes. And we also need yearly pledging, or for some prefer monthly pledging because it's easier. Whatever, yearly, monthly, not all of it begins with Y, but you get the idea. And we need volunteers, absolutely. They are at the heart of our congregation. And for Z, maybe someday we'll be able to get to a zero waste facility. It's a vision, it's something to shoot for. We need youth and youthfulness, absolutely. If anyone can think of another Z word, we could finish this off really nicely. I don't think we're ready to have a zebra yet, but who knows? Maybe we could have one out in the yard. Anything else? Zest, perfect. Thank you, Carla. That is absolutely what we need. And that was what I needed to finish this game. Thank you for all who participated. A beautiful, beautiful vision of the future. Let's make it happen. And now it's time for another type of generosity practice. Each week we take an offering to support the work of this congregation. And we have a really special treat for you today. You can, while we are listening to the piece that's going to be premiering here today, you can make out a check that's payable to UUCE and you can mail it to the address on your screen, or you could go to uuerie.org/donate. And if that's toward your pledge, please do let us know. Meanwhile, we have a beautiful piece of music that is all about tomorrow and dreams of a better time ahead.
Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear. And the children will smile without wondering whether on that day thunder clouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care. bright tomorrow, and our vision remains in our hearts. Now the torch must be passed with new hope, not in sorrow, and a promise to make a new start. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we care, if we share, you and me.
Oh, incredible. Incredible. What talented, wonderful performers we have. What talented musicians who put these wonderful pieces together for us. Thank you so much, Kelly and Candace and Carla. That was just beautiful, beautiful and inspiring. Well, at this time, although that's a tough act to follow, Edie, I'm sorry about that. I'd like to invite Edie to share some words about our pledge effort this year.
Honey, I have to talk now. Can you guys go in the kitchen? Hello, fellow travelers. I invite you all to come with me as we take a journey into tomorrow. I know this has been a very difficult year for all of us. We've lost dear people close to us. Some of us has lost our jobs, and we've suffered from fear and isolation. Now, though, we have an opportunity to journey toward a better tomorrow. Please hop on the UUCE bus with me and let's travel together. We have places to go. We have people to meet, actions to take, new ideas to consider, missions to accomplish. There's so much that we can discover and do on our journey. Best of all, we can have a wonderful tour guide to lead us. If the congregation votes on March 28th to call Reverend Kristina to be our 3/4 time minister, we will have an inspiring and extremely qualified guide to lead us on our journey into tomorrow. As you well know, a journey is not cheap. It costs money. We all need to dig deep and contribute as much as we can for this journey. We need to come up with 25% more in pledges this year compared to last year. We have lost revenue from usual sources like garage sales, auctions, building use rentals. This year in particular, we need to do the best we can to make a generous pledge to our congregation. But we can do it. I feel very positive about the generosity and enthusiasm and promise of this group of fellow travelers. So hop on board and let's travel together and support our journey into tomorrow. Our congregation is worth it. We are worth it. Thank you very much from a fellow traveler. See you on board.
Thank you, Edie. Well, we are indeed, as Edie said, we are going on a journey into tomorrow. Now, in some ways, these words are always true, aren't they? Each day, as humans, we have to plan for the needs of tomorrow. But in spring, this journey takes on a special fervency as we sense and we feel the renewal that's going on all around us. A vision of creation is unfolding. And we sense that we are a part of it all. We're invited to shake off the weariness of the past winter and awaken to new possibilities. And the congregational year follows this pattern too. And so every spring, we ask that you make or renew that pledge to keep this congregation healthy and able to work towards fulfilling its mission. I'm thinking of some indigenous wisdom that I carry with me about planning for the future. I'm thinking of two phrases that have always stayed with me from wherever I picked them up. One of them is a Dena'ina phrase, the Dena'ina people whose land I lived on for many, many years in Anchorage, Alaska. And they have a saying, they have a phrase, always getting ready, always getting ready. And in that very harsh, stressed environment with a very long winter, they are always planning for the future, always laying up the salmon, always picking the berries and canning them and getting ready to experience the next winter. And I'm also thinking of the indigenous idea that we should plan for 7 generations worth of the future, so that when we make decisions now, we are thinking 7 generations out. And in this way, we know that we are being mindful of those that are not here yet, those who haven't arrived yet, whose needs are also important and should be taken into account. So we will think of those things. We will think of getting ready for next year. And we will also think about how our values lead us to plan for 7 generations into the future. Now you may be thinking, well, I give at the plate, I give during the offering, and I give what I can. So why should I make a yearly pledge? And I just want to say that like any organization, we need to have a budget and we need to have a plan for always getting ready, right? And so pledging the opportunity to say, this is how much I have to share and this is how much I would like to offer to the congregation, allows us to decide what we can afford and to make decisions that are good ones based on how much resources we have. Now, what do we use those resources for? Well, we use them to fulfill our mission. What exactly does that mean? Well, the first part of our mission is that we inspire personal and spiritual growth. So we'll need inspiring leadership, of course, ministers, RE directors, music directors. We'll need resources to bring Sunday services alive each week with messages and music and artful elements that inspire and challenge. And we'll also be continuing to offer reading groups and meditation groups and adult faith development experiences like UU Wellspring and the Transgender Inclusion Project and other things that we haven't even dreamed of yet, but we want to be able to offer opportunities to inspire personal and spiritual growth for all of our members and friends. So that's the first part of our mission. And at this point, I would like to pause and invite Garrett Lyle Lindahl, one of our members, to speak to us about what this congregation means to him.
Thank you, Reverend Kristina. Good morning, everyone. In my 40s, not the 1940s, in my 40s, I began to question much of what was ingrained in me throughout my conservative Christian upbringing. And these were things that I held on to from early childhood up to that point. And I got to the stage, like I said, in my early 40s, where I really, things stopped lining up for me. I started having deep questions, and it seemed like I just really struggled. I started delving into church history and working my way back through Christian history. I got into a spell where I studied Eastern Orthodoxy for quite some time, and it kept moving further back. And I got to the point where I came to embrace universalism, which was a very early theological view in the first century or two after Christ. And the more I studied it, the more I embraced it, and I took these views on to be my own. And shortly after that, I visited our congregation for the first time. What would have been unthinkable earlier in my life, because I drove by the congregation many times and always kind of looked at it suspiciously. I was really enthusiastic about coming to visit. And from the very first time I entered through the doors, I think I met Lee, was the first person that greeted me at the door. I felt welcome, and I felt community like I'd never felt in church before. And I felt that I was in good company, that I finally had a place where not only were questions okay, questions are encouraged. And I felt just sort of a sense of peace that I've never had before. We have something special here at our congregation. We have something very special, and I think it's something that our community really needs, the Erie community, and I think that we really have a message in a place for people that are searching, and I think there's a lot of us that are seeking in. And so I just feel like we're really entering an extraordinary new chapter of our congregation's life. I'm very excited to be a part of it, and it's for this reason that I feel strongly about not only making an annual pledge, but even increasing the pledge, with the excitement of what we're going to be doing moving forward. And I miss seeing everyone in person. It's been a difficult year for me because this is the first time in my life where I've actually never physically met somewhere on a Sunday morning. And so I've been slow getting onto the Zoom bandwagon and looking forward to what lies before us in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Garrett. So, as Garrett said, this is a very special place where we connect in fellowship and in service. You heard in Garrett's story that feeling of connection that arrived even the very first time that he walked into the UU congregation of Erie. And so, as we said, we're going on a journey into tomorrow. After all that we've been through in the past year, many of us are hoping that tomorrow is going to look a lot better than today, with all the fears and anxieties we've been living with for over a year now. And we have reason to look forward to all the good things that are in the future. And we also need to realize that our tomorrows may not look like our yesterdays, that it may take resources to restore the ability to meet safely and inclusively in our future. No matter what lies ahead, my dog is seeing another dog out the window and he's very excited. Sorry about that. No matter what lies ahead, we know that we're going to need to take care of our building. We're going to need to keep it a beautiful and inviting and accessible space for all who would like to connect in fellowship and in service. And we're going to need resources for religious education that will welcome and delight and nurture our children and also the children of visitors that we haven't even had a chance to meet yet, and the children of those children, and so on for 7 generations. And we're going to find ways, new ways to meet and to restore that sense of connection and community that is at the heart of this congregation. We're going to have potlucks again someday, I do believe. We're going to enjoy coffee hours and little dinners and picnics, and we'll get to hug and we'll get to smile in one another's presence. I have a vision of that happening someday, very soon. And it's also true that this community has continued to connect us, even during the pandemic, has continued to keep us tight and woven together, even when we couldn't be in one another's presence. And so right now, I'd like to pause a little bit from speaking, and I invite you to share in the chat something that has meant a lot to you in the past year and has helped you stay connected with this community. If you are so moved, I invite you to write in the chat something that has really kept your connection and kept you going during this difficult year. Sunday services, yes. A chance for us all to be together and to share what's on our hearts. Sunday services. Keeping the 7 generations in mind. The RE craft packages, yes, to keep the kids connected to this lovely community. Zoom services and sermons. The sense of fellowship that we've been able to keep going, even in this time of distancing. Linda, welcome and support to a new member. Yes, so glad that you're here with us too. So all of these things, the talent, the hard work, and the resilience of our musicians, absolutely. What an incredible bunch. Working with the Sunday Services Committee and meeting new people, the warm energy that is here in our virtual sanctuary and that we bring over from our physical sanctuary. Keeping the Memory Cafe going using Zoom. Finding creative ways to keep those ministries going, even though we can't be together in physical space. Friends at the Memory Cafe, yeah. Our ministry to folks that are experiencing dementia. Phone calls that connect each other. Absolutely, and for all these things, and for many more that maybe we just haven't thought of today, We are grateful and we want to keep them going. Being able to creatively problem solve with others. Yeah, the creativity of this group continues to amaze me and inspire me. So the final part of our journey into tomorrow is the final piece of our mission, which is to act for peace and justice. We want to continue our good work in Erie, funding scholarships for youth, preparing meals for folks who are marginalized and in need, sharing our spirits with those who are living with dementia. All the many, many beautiful and life-affirming ministries of this congregation, they still require resources of time and talent, and yes, treasure to keep them going. Now, in order to do these important ministries and in order to keep this important work going, we also need to keep our connections to the Unitarian Universalist Association, our national body. We need to connect with the UU Ministry for Earth, to UU Justice Pennsylvania, our statewide action network. We would like to send delegates to our General Assembly meeting in the summer and to regional gatherings and national rallies. And we need to help fund important and vital ministries like UU The Vote and the Green Sanctuary Movement and Black Lives of UU and many others. Our vision of peace and justice can only be realized here in Erie and in our wider community and on our planet by working with others and by sharing our resources to bring about the more just and equitable world that we dream of. This too is at the heart of our community. And those of us who have privilege, who have been given so much, can express our gratitude by turning around and offering generosity, by sharing what we have with the world. So we, all of us, are going on a journey into tomorrow. And we can help decide what that tomorrow will be like, which is exciting, and it's a big responsibility. As Edie said, won't you come along? Won't you be a fellow traveler with us on that journey? All of us, I know, are so grateful for one another's presence. We're so grateful for your companionship, and we are grateful for the generosity that is an expression of the love that lies at the heart of this beautiful community. So as we move into tomorrow, one day at a time and down the line into the 7th generation, I invite you to continue sharing your heart with us and sharing each day of the future as it unfolds, starting here on this first day of spring and starting now with this opportunity for renewal and hope. On this first beautiful day of spring, I invite you to come along with us for this amazing day and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. And I think I will just read those last few things that people shared that I didn't get a chance to see. Social responsibility, yes, social justice, which is exactly where I was going. So thank you, Steve and Mary. And Al shares that Zoom has helped him stay connected with UU friends and that he will be celebrating his 60th anniversary of signing the UU membership book. So congratulations to that important anniversary, Al. That's wonderful. And Christine and Doug shared being a part of services and music. Yes, yes. Beautiful yeses all. And now we are going to move into the time when we share our joys and concerns with one another. We share the things that we are celebrating and also the things that we may be struggling with. This is another opportunity to use the chat box to share a few adjectives about how you're feeling today. You don't need to respond to other people's entries. You can just bear witness to our states of mind as we are moved to share them. And Jackson will play Bagpipes by Bella Bartok as you share what's on your heart. Thanks to all who shared what's on your heart today. Today in the sharing, I saw messages of tiredness and frustration, but also excitement at the coming of spring and moving forward. Also sadness and grief at anniversaries of loss and losses that are more recent. And for all these and more, the ones that we keep in the silence of our hearts, those that are too tender to share today, we hold you in love and we bear witness to all that you feel. Thank you. I'd also like to acknowledge grief at the murder of the people who were killed in the Atlanta incident, and all that it has shown us about our country and all that we need to make sense of going forward. Our closing words today are from the mystic Julian of Norwich. And this kind of goes out to all of you who are just itching to get into the earth and into your gardens as spring unfolds. Be a gardener, dig a ditch, toil and sweat, and turn the earth upside down and seek the deepness and water the plants in time. Continue this labor and make sweet floods to run and noble and abundant fruits to spring. Take this food and drink and carry it to God as your true worship. We'll now extinguish our chalice. If you've lit a candle or a chalice, I invite you to extinguish it as well with these words. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now Jackson will play us out by playing another fun piece, Mess Around by Ahmet Erdoğan.